the world's greatest mercenaries. The only life they've ever known is war. The only loyalty they've ever had is to each other.
We got 45 seconds before this thing goes kaboom. Somebody needs to stay here and disarm the bomb while the rest of us fall back. Who's gonna be the hero today, brothers?
I vote Rock Squatch.
Yeah, Squatchy. He's great at that sort of thing.
Nice work, Brother Squatch. Step the right wire.
He was 1 week from retirement. Bomb Squatch.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in the New York City man cave. God, poor Brocky Squatch can't seem to catch a break, and he was surrounded by a team of badasses. McLovin, let's say you were facing down a bomb with red and green and blue wires going everywhere, and the other Danettes knew how to disarm it. Who are you going to call in that situation?
Wow. Seton, because he is the technical expert.
Good answer.
That is a huge mistake. I've got like the shakiest hands in the world. Paul Pabst, you call in that situation, no doubt.
Yeah, I'd have a guy, you know, like I know.
Oh, yeah, you want the guy with one eye working on
You
the
only
internet?
need one eye. Oh, you want this guy instead? Hey, man, hopefully he wasn't out too late last night. So
Fritzy, by the way,
this thing.
none of us, he's not even really in the
I'm
question.
not even.
I've based my
I'm not in
entire
the
career on
conversation.
sidestepping landmines and diffusing bombs, and I probably have a guy, you know, a guy who does that for me.
Seton, you may have shaky hands, but you were probably shaking all over when you had to pay up on that bet you had with DP.
What am I doing with my life?
I'm gonna clean the infield here. This is a official Buffalo Wild Wings wet now. First, you trust me, right?
I do.
I'm just gonna sanitize the area.
I know usually I'm the victim in this kind of thing. The fact that I have nothing negative happening to me is awesome.
She's our bartender.
Buddy.
Alex, you're gonna bartender. Can you be the bartender for this?
I love if just in case our relationship changes forever right now, I just want you to know that I love you. Okay? Whatever happens after this, it is what it is, okay? I love you, pal.
There we go.
Hand him up there.
Oh my God.
This is really happening right now. It's horrifying.
Here we go. Are you ready? Go.
No, wait, let me get the salt.
Wow. I forgot how traumatic that was until I actually saw the video just now, because I'm just laying back and I didn't want to look up and, you know, hand it to Seton. He's a man of his word. He kept his bet. I don't know how I got dragged into it in the first place. I wasn't as taken aback as I thought I would be. I don't know if I'd want to ever have that happen ever again, but, you know, you gotta hand it to Seton. That's what he said he was going to do it.
You're
He did
blushing,
it.
dude.
And it was a very strange,
Were you
awkward
visualizing
moment.
someone else whilst Seton was doing that?
I was actually just trying to take a little quick nap in wherever I can get it, but you know, I certainly was trying not to think that it was Seton in that area of my body. But he went through with it, and it's just watching that, I cannot believe that happened.
Seton, I paraphrased Shaquille O'Neal. How does belly button taste?
It was all right, actually. That's why I went with the spiced rum, because I figured that would be the more flavor-filled rum. And you know, I made it about an hour and a half into the meet and greet, and then I said to Nick, one of our back room guys, I was like, you know, I only got about 30 more minutes and I'm gonna make it out of this thing. And he was just like, whoa, yeah, dude, maybe you will. And immediately walked over to Dan, and everybody was just like, you know, Seton thinks he's getting away with this thing. So I just want to say thank you to Nick. That was great.
That's good producing, actually.
Yeah, it was well done. You know, last night I was like, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I thought it was actually more bold of Fritzy than me for some reason. Today, watching it on national TV is a little unfortunate. I'm like, that kind of stinks.
It's also being called Coyote Uglier.
Yeah, there's not a lot pretty about that.
That was just.
It looked like you guys had a great time there, but aside from the body shot, Fritzy, what were some of the highlights yesterday at the meet and greet?
I'm glad some of my family came out, which was nice, and including my brother and nephew and niece and sister-in-law. There was some, just as always, really nice people telling all kinds of stories about how they view the show, whether it's podcast or they listen to it or they watch it on Audience and/or NBC Sports Network, telling stories about how they were going through a rough time in their life, or they weren't feeling well, or what have you, and it helps to get them through their day. But that seemed to be the overwhelming common theme, that people look forward to this, and it's an actual part of their day, and they look forward to the laughs and seeing how we interact, and it means a lot. It was a nice turnout.
For me, it's just the ladies. I mean, the amount of love and adoration I get is surprising. It's even surprising to me, but there was definitely talk of stalker, and I love it. I'm here to stalk anytime. That's definitely a big ego trip for me to actually have women talk to me.
I'm going to say selfishly, getting to put together a drink for Shellback and having lots of people try it and like it. Now, let's not kid each other. Rum and lemonade is not the most complex drink to make of all time, but that's probably why it worked. It was a lot of fun, and a lot of people were drinking it and having a good time.
For me, actually, it was a pretty shocking revelation that I didn't find out until today. Actually, just about 10 minutes ago was my highlight of yesterday. That's finding out that Todd Fritz, not only does he still have a bottle of Cool Water cologne, he actually wore it yesterday to the meet and greet.
I did spray a little bit on. I'm a big fan of Cool Water, and I actually have a little in my bag, and that was one of the things I packed. I had my laptop with me, my clothes.
Spritzed a little.
Now, what's the expiration date? Because you bought that in '89, that Cool Water.
You would think it would be expired, but surprisingly, it actually has a nice smell. It's like the Cool Water has cooled down a bit over the years. So I don't know. It's probably just water and a little bit of some type of chemical that, like formaldehyde or something. But I like my Cool Water, and I dipped back into the '80s and sprayed a little on.
It's like Polo Cologne. I think it turns to mustard gas after 3 years. New York, home to a lot of good times, also home to a lot of celebrities, and you had the beautiful British Rebecca Lowe in to answer the very tough questions.
Was that weird, though, that I was talking about how much Paulie loved that you were in last time?
No, it was really nice. And thanks, Paulie.
If your husband heard that
following
exchange,
it would be over.
It would be. Would he crush Paulie?
Crush.
Paulie used to be a bouncer.
Still crushed.
Your husband's a great soccer manager. He may yell at me or
Would your husband get a red card or a yellow card with the damage he would do on Paulie?
Possibly a 10-game ban.
Brock, I respect the sanctity of marriage, and when a wife supports her husband, even when what's being talked about is completely false. Come on, he can't even use his hands, right? Because he's a soccer guy. So, even if
he can head you, though.
Look, I respect Rebecca Lowe.
Doesn't mean he can't kick you.
Yeah. Again, not worried. I would never let someone with that accent take me down. I just wouldn't let it happen.
Wow.
America, heck yeah. Paulie, did you spray on cologne this morning?
A tough one. I don't own cologne, but you could say I may have taken a longer shower to get more clean than normal. My showers usually take about 45 seconds. I think I went a minute and 15.
You went with that fancy, you can, at a hotel, you get just soap, shampoo, and then they have the shower gel.
Shower gel.
You went shower gel today?
May not.
Hey, what's the deal with that, by the way?
I
don't know. I have no idea
Is it shampoo or is it soap or is it somewhere in another world?
You just rub it on? What do you do with it?
Sometimes it's liquid soap.
Yeah. Does anybody actually just, when you don't have soap, just use shampoo all over your body?
I've done that before.
Okay.
I've never felt like Fritzy before, but today I felt a little bit like Fritzy, where I was on getting blasted a little bit for being nice to Rebecca Lowe and being a gentleman, and I'll never apologize for being a gentleman.
Listen to this guy.
Well, if it wasn't cologne, maybe it was your pheromones, because she caught a whiff of something. You went in for the hug, and then you gave a few waves afterward in Mrs. Lowe's direction. How was the hug, and did she enjoy your scent?
Wafting.
Well, Brock, I don't know what kind of video you're watching, but she came towards me. If you notice, I'm right in my producer zone. She is supposed to be going to the guest area. She chose to come over.
Encroach.
But I'm, again,
penalty.
Gentleman to the end.
Offside.
Yeah.
Encroachment.
Yeah, a little bit of encouragement. I don't know if they have
encroaching.
offsides in soccer. They have offsides. She's nice. And to be fair, when she left the building, there were 5 smitten guys in the room. So I may be the leader of the club, but there's a big club.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Well, actually, Seton sent me a
club.
note after Rebecca's segment and goes, we should have Rebecca on every week. I don't know if there's enough soccer coverage, but we should have her on every week.
She's a good guest, yeah.
That's what you're thinking about.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, I'm not the one blushing. So it's written all over the faces, okay? I'm not the one blushing. I think she's a great guest. She's a home run. Yeah, we should have her on, and then Paulie can get all funny inside when she comes in.
I get the tingles. I get the tingles. From here, like, oh.
We can't talk beautiful women and hotel salves without looking back into the back row. Mr. Fritzy, who seemed to be getting quite a little kick out of the proceedings. How jealous were you? Look at that smile.
McLovin's negging.
Now, I can't tell if Fritzy is jealous that I'm hugging a lovely woman, or is he excited that I'm actually in the crosshairs other than him?
Definitely more excited that Paulie was having to deal with some of the grief of the male-female interaction and all that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I am going to get my hug in at some point before she leaves. She's not going to sneak out the back door somehow without me getting yeah, exactly. Even if it's past the 90th minute, I got to make sure I get my hug in before she runs out the door. So I did get that in.
Fritzy, that's all right. You were probably doing your job because you were trying to land Tony Stewart's replacement. We'll get to that after the break. Welcome back to the Box Score. You guys had some breaking news about Tony Stewart today. Jeff Burton's going to race for him on Saturday. Fritzy, is that what you were busy doing while you were looking at Rebecca Lowe? Were you trying to book Jeff Burton?
Yeah, as is often the case, yesterday Paulie sent out a note with one of many guest ideas, one of being, hey, Jeff Burton's going to be replacing Tony Stewart. What about, we should consider getting him on. So we got in touch with NASCAR and also our friends at NBC Sports Network, since he's doing analysis for them. And we were able to work it out, and I think it was a smart idea, and it was good to hear from the guy that's going to be sitting in at Michigan for Tony.
You guys did get Jeff on, but the boss was put in a tough spot towards the end of the interview because Paulie was probably doing this.
I don't know how Tony can just walk away, or to be able to walk away from racing. And dirt track racing is at the core of who he is. I mean, NASCAR racing, there's a lot of pressure. There's tons of people around you all the time. You go dirt track racing, it's just a whole nother deal. You're just one of the guys, and although, don't get me wrong, Tony Stewart's never just one of the guys, but, crew members come hang out with you, and, when the race is over, you might all sit down and drink some beer together, and it's just it's a real social, as much social as this competition, and Tony loves being in that environment. So,
well, good luck.
I just find it hard to believe he wouldn't keep himself in that environment in some form or fashion.
Good luck this weekend, Jeff. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a tough one. What you're seeing there is a bunch of guys dealing with a hard break in radio that becomes a hard break in TV as well. Now, Dan asked his last question to Jeff, and Jeff's he's a talker, but I mean that in a good way. He can talk, and he's got a lot to say. He's a very smart guy. And so Dan can hear the music and knows he's got a certain amount of time. And what you do in radio, and Seton can back me up, you look for an opening. You look for a period at the end of a sentence that someone's talking about. But the tough part is Jeff Burton is on the line, and Seton can't control his audio.
Yeah, that's all running through Milford, and Two-A-Days has that. So what we'd normally do is say in Dan's ear, all right, dude, at this sentence, I'm just going to bring him down, and then you can jump in. It'll be a little awkward probably for Jeff, and he feels he would have gotten cut off. But when you don't have any control of that, it was impossible to coordinate between here and Milford.
It felt a little helpless. And the other thing, Jeff kind of heard that wrap up and probably ended his own sentence because now he's a pro broadcaster and he's a smart guy, so he caught it too. But once in a while, we will have to cut someone off a little early, and Fritzy will say, "Hey, just want to let you know we didn't mean to cut you off." And 99% of the time, they completely understand because it's not like they know our clock before they come on the show. That's not their job.
Do they hear the music? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
They can, but you'd have to be like Mike Florio would hear the music, or Rich Eisen, who's been on 100 times, and say, "Wow, that's wrap-up music. I gotta cut myself off."
Yep. Right.
But it's worth it to us, as Paulie was saying, to make that extra call afterwards, because even if we don't hear back from an agent or a PR person or the guest themselves saying, "Hey, what happened there?" or "I was in the middle of a sentence and you guys cut me off," we kind of beat them to the punch just to make sure there's no issues. Especially if you want to have that person back on again, you don't want to wonder if they thought we just kind of rudely stopped in the middle of a sentence and disconnected them. So that is important to make that extra call or email to make sure everybody's cool.
Brock, if you have a second, we had a bad one year. We had Bob Knight on the show, and Dan's last question to Bob Knight was about would you go back to Indiana and call a basketball game? And back then he was like, no, and he didn't really like the topic. He wasn't mad at Dan, but we were up against a heartbreak, and Dan goes, hey, Coach, thanks a lot. We'll have you on again soon. And boom, and I picked up the phone to say bye to Coach Knight because Fritzy was doing something else, and Bob Knight was pretty upset. He goes, whoa. He goes, you cut me off just because I didn't bite on the Indiana question, just because I didn't say I want to go. I go, no, Coach. I go, we were literally up against a heartbreak, so for about 30 seconds, he was pretty pissed. And then I explained the heartbreak, and he understood that. He's been doing a radio TV a long time. And he understood, and he cooled down. But at first, he thought he was just being cut off because he wasn't playing ball with the topic that Dan wanted. And he was mad. But at the end of it, everything was fine.
Bobby Knight mad?
Yeah.
He was yelling at me on the phone.
So
I remember
weird.
that was extreme. That was extremely awkward.
Dude, that's awesome that you got yelled at by Bobby Knight.
It was a
That's
dream
cool.
come true.
Paulie, how do you make the decision on whether to keep the guy on after the break? Is it momentum?
Yeah, if there's a really great guest you have and you'd like to keep it going, the problem is the breaks are pretty long, and that guest would have to sit there for like 7 minutes and jump back on the phone. We've done it before, but it has to be someone where we don't think we've gotten everything out of the interview, and usually Dan gets it all in the time needed.
All right, hopefully you got it with our next guest, because coming up after this, let's get ready for it. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to get sued. I'm gonna have
I think he uses that voice all the time where he goes through, I would like a tuna on rye with lettuce and tomato. Ladies and gentlemen.
I would hope he would, but I'm going to guess he doesn't.
It'd be weird to go to the bed and go, let's get ready for intimacy.
Welcome back to the box score. Fritzy gave us a great moment in the man cave where he imitated Buffer. And then Dan put him on the spot today when the legendary ring announcer called in.
With your permission, could I have Fritzy do a little Michael Buffer?
I got to hear it.
Okay, Fritzy. You want to do some of them from yesterday?
From the world's largest hotel, casino, and theme park, welcome to the MGM Grand. For the thousands in attendance and millions watching worldwide. And by Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to be. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, we can't. We don't want to get sued if we say the whole phrase there, Michael.
That was pretty good. I think he almost sounded a little bit more like my brother, but that was pretty good.
Awesome, man. Fritzy got put right on the spot there and just delivered an unbelievable monologue. That was super funny. Even calling out Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers.
Which Michael Buffer said hasn't been a sponsor in like a decade at least.
But that's perfect. Like probably since he had like the 90s, maybe 80s, which is Fritzy's wheelhouse. That's really definitely when he was following along.
That used to be my favorite part. We'd go, brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. And I don't know why that was stuck in my head. And he said something about world's largest hotel, casino, and theme park, which may or may not be the MGM Grand. But I just remember bits and pieces of things he would say, and I'm like,
I was waiting for you to give a shout out to like Cheryl Ladd or Kate Jackson in the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlene Tilton from Dallas is with us.
Larry Hagman. Fritzy, he seemed to loosen up after that impression. Do you think that was the boss's goal?
I don't know. I don't think I was uptight. It's Friday, Fritzy. I was in good spirits, and I could always use a little loosening up. My mind's starting to wander about, guests for next week and all that. Also, still troubled by all the people that are yet to see the Seton Fritz thing that happened over at Buffalo Wild Wings last night. But all in all, it was good. I like when he does that. He knows I enjoy doing my little impersonations or any opportunity to sing or perform. I'm always up for that, so, especially on a Friday. So I'm glad he teed me up and let me do an impersonation. Whenever you could do an impersonation for somebody, like whether it's Shannon Sharp or Michael Buffer or Adam Sandler, that's pretty awesome.
Brock, I actually think that the reason that Fritzy was allowed to do the impression was that the interview was going way better than we expected. We just have never met Michael Buffer. Dan's never met him. We've never met him. We never had him on. And he was really loose, really fun. And as it got along, he was playing along real well. Before the interview, I didn't think we were going to get something like that. I didn't think we would go to something like that. And Dan went to it late in the interview because Buffer was really loose. And that's kind of where Dan or all of us will kind of gauge the interview and say, like, hey, I think we could try something here at the end because this guy's playing ball, and he played ball fantastic. But if he was like real serious and tight, Dan wouldn't have gone to that unless he was trying one last thing at the end to make it great.
I've never met Michael Buffer, but I will be very far away from him at the BKB event, which he will be announcing, by the way. He'll be the ring announcer for BKB this Saturday, August 16th at 10 p.m. Eastern. on DirecTV. So please stay with us. We'll find out who has the best accent among the Danettes. Welcome back to the Box Score. It's last call here at the Box Score Bar. You guys had a great show from the New York City Man Cave. As a matter of fact, you got a little bonus from the lovely Rebecca Lowe today.
Why don't you tease the Premier League coverage on NBCSN with an American accent?
So, I have to go to get into the voice. So, the Premier League is tomorrow, and we start at 7 a.m.
Man, she didn't have to turn to the Danettes. These guys are literally eating out of Rebecca Lowe's hands. I gotta tell you, I'm definitely the coolest one here. I was cool as a cucumber. I played that one like.
Hold on a second, Mr. Cool as a cucumber. Okay, she's leaving, holding her bag and stuff. And who gave a? Oh wait, Rebecca, hold on a second, hold on. Hug, and then sort of pranced back.
You did a chase out?
I don't know.
He did an off-camera chase out to get a quick hug.
Do you have footage of said chase out? Do you have
Easy.
Do you have footage of said chase out hug?
We all know. You know exactly what happened
dramatic
there.
reenactment.
Oh wait, Rebecca, wait, hold on. Ran after her. A little hug.
You're better than that.
Weak sauce. It's embarrassing, Andrew.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, guys, give me a sample of your best accent. Seton, start us off, please.
Holy smokes, accents, man. I have no idea. Do I do any accents?
You did the Beckham.
You kind of
did the British Beckham thing.
And I'll hit. Yeah, I don't know. I do all one-word impressions. I don't really have any.
You're a little Brett Favre.
Of course. That's a really better.
Of course I have an impression.
Of course.
I'll try one. Hello, Governor. Would you throw another shrimp on the barbie?
That's British?
What's that? Sort of New Zealand?
The hybrid Aussie. The only thing I do is for the movie Snatch.
We kind of.
I'll do the fight for free. I'll get my mama caravan. Periwinkle blue.
Yeah. You like dags?
Yeah, I like dags.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'll do a little like old, an old Jewish lady at the deli. Like, can I get a half a pound of turkey breast sliced very thin? My grandkids like it very thin, and a half a pound of the corned beef, not the boar's head. I keep a kosher house.
That sounds like you.
That's kind of like.
Good impression of me.
I know that.
If you could throw a half a sour pickle in there, that wouldn't be terrible.
Maybe it's where the mutton's nice and thin. McLovin knows that because he worked in a deli, and he also ran after Rebecca Lowe because we found the tape, sir. Let's show it.
Oh wait, Rebecca, wait.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes! Damn you, IT!
Yes!
No!
Oh wait.
Are there cameras everywhere on this place?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Come back, wait, come back.
Seriously, like, why are you rolling on that? Why roll on that? There was action going on elsewhere. I hate you, I-Team.
Hold on.
Hate you. Hate the I-Team.
Okay, Fritzy, if no one's on next week, can you give some words of encouragement in the voice of Vicky to the BKB fighters?
Ladies and gentlemen, when you tune in to DirecTV's BKB, you will see something more than just boxing. This will be a spectacle. Everybody get ready for the main event of the evening. Let's get ready for guest host Mike Florio next week with no guests yet, but we're efforting. Have a good weekend.
Good job, Governor.
Oh, all right. Thanks, guys, and thank you for watching The Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239, right here on DirecTV, where you'll find BKB. Cheers, Sophia.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!